I'm going to show you how to do a ink color change on press, coming up. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Let's dive right into this tutorial. So we're running off a job in which we're doing a couple ink color changes. So I thought I'd show you guys. So we're running off a job in which we're doing a couple ink color changes, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how we go about doing that. In order to do an ink color change, you're going to need some press wash. I'll leave a link down in the description as to where you can find some press wash. And the first thing we're going to do, and keep in mind that when you're doing an ink color change, you want to go from your lightest color to your darkest color. So we're about to change this blue to black, and what I'm going to do is just remove my squeegee. And if you want to clean up your squeegee and use the one on press, that's fine. We have another one set aside for black because we're going to use this blue for another job. And I'm just going to take my ink container and scrape up all the ink on my squeegee and everything here on press, because you don't want to just waste a ton of ink. So I'm just going to scoop up the rest of this ink, and this applies to a manual or an automatic press. It really doesn't matter. The process is the same, really. We're just trying to get up as much of the ink as possible. And let me go to this other side. You're going to want to wear some gloves because this is going to be pretty messy. And what I like to use instead of paper towels is, we tend to have a job or so on hand in which we perhaps had some misprints, so we're just going to use some shirts on a job that was a misprint. Okay, so now we have all of our ink cleaned up. We're going to use some press wash, and we're just going to spray the screen generously. Want quite a bit of that on there. And I'm just going to take my old shirt here and just go through, get every little bit of that up. You can see there's quite a bit of ink coming up. You can only scrape out so much. And you're going to have to do this a 2 or 3 times before the screen is completely clean. So the very first pass, we're really just kind of getting up all this excess ink, just trying to clean things down. And then the second and third pass is when we're really just clearing it up quite nicely. And by the way, you can go from a dark color to a light color, but it is that much more difficult to get that darker color out and it not show up in your lighter ink. Alright, so I got me another rag shirt. Doesn't have any ink on it. And I'm going to spray the screen down again. This time I'm going to spray a little bit on the underside. And we're going to repeat the process. And when you're doing your ink color change, you want to get up as much of the ink as possible. Make this screen look like it did before you put any ink in it. So now I'm going to wipe the bottom of it. And we're printing on white shirts, so we got to get this pretty clean on the underside of this. Alright, so we're going to do this one more time. Spray the bottom. And this rag should still be good. It's not too filthy from the second pass. And one of the things you want to look for is to make sure that your mesh doesn't have any of that color still in there. As you can see, you can't really see any of the blue ink anymore. It's just nice and clean. And you want to wipe your bottom Wipe your top. Make sure you got all of that press wash out. Sometimes if you, like say for instance, I like to use masking tape, so if you're printing on white shirts, you may have to change that masking tape out because it will tend to soak up some of that color. But now we are ready to go ahead and load up our black ink and do our next color. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.